All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. Shout out to Lou for mocking me on the intro there. If you're watching, you saw it, but if you're not, Lou did a heck of a job really trying to get the podcast started right here. It was really just kind of matching my energy, just word for word, just
copy my whole flow, word for word, bar for bar,
without any real words there. But we got a lot to talk about today. Lou, I think, is going to talk about aliens, so we'll get into that on today's podcast. We'll talk about the Heat Nuggets series and how we might have a series. The Panini office was broken into. Victor Wembanyama autos are redemptions once again. Yep. So much to talk about on today's episode. It's going to be a fun one. But first, we'll start with the usual. We'll start with what's on your mind. And I've been waiting a few days for this, so I'm going to start with Lou. Lou, what is on your mind today?
I mean, do we want to do, like, should I do a card, what's on my mind, versus, like, what's actually on my mind? Because, like, the only thing that's on my mind has been this alien article for the last 2 days, so.
I think it's all connected.
Yeah.
You think it's all connected?
I don't know if it's all connected.
Understood. Thanks, Lou. What does that mean?
I meant Jay.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, yeah. So, I mean, what's on my mind is this alien story. I would love to talk about it with anyone who would like to talk about it. I would love to get into it with you guys right now if you want to. I also have this feeling that, like, Leaf is going to drop an alien patch card one of these days and, like, right in our mouth when we're not expecting it. So yeah, I said invasion worn patch autos was the future. So just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. Just want to know if you had a chance to read the story, anything.
I have not. I clicked on the link that you sent and it talks about it. It looks like it's like the most official thing. But correct me if I'm wrong, Lou. You're super into this. You know this world a lot more.
Sure.
It seems like this is something that happens every couple months.
Now it does. Yes.
It becomes a big deal, and then no one cares. It's just like, oh, there's aliens.
Much like everything else in the world, no one cares in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it seems like it's got like a very, very short runway, and tomorrow, like next week, nobody will remember.
It's because there's no pictures. If there was a picture of an alien, it would change the world.
I mean, we've seen all these videos, right?
Not of an alien.
Oh, you want an actual, like a physical alien?
It's like everything else. Unless there's a video of it, no one's gonna believe it. What, Ty?
Ty is like, for those that are not watching,
are you reading the story right now?
Is that locked in on something. He's
PGA Tour and LIV Golf just merged.
What? No way.
Like 2 minutes ago.
I just got 2 text messages about it. LIV and PGA are merging.
What? You want to talk about one of the all-time fake outrage stories? LIV Golf. LIV Golf is
what?
Wait,
I'm trying to find it. This is insane.
Okay, I'm reading it now. This is for all the people who are hearing this a day later. They're like, "Why are they taking 20 minutes to read out the story that everyone knows about now?" But the reason is,
here we go. The PGA Tour agreed to merge with rival LIV Golf, which is backed by the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, an entity controlled by the Saudi Crown Prince. The proposed merger comes after the PGA Tour and LIV Golf have been embroiled in lawsuits regarding antitrust claims. The deal would end all pending litigation. That's like it.
Wow, this is like a wild story.
That's what I got. Who's the clear winner? Brooks Koepka, in my opinion.
Who's the clear loser? Rory. You could argue Phil and Brooks are the 2 winners, and Rory's the biggest loser.
Yeah, it seems like LIV Golf is the winner here.
I don't know if LIV Golf is, but
not if they didn't get any money out of it.
Because I think they're gonna like. I think that overall the players are the winners.
Yeah.
Because they're all getting a crap load more money. Rory died on a hill. And Brooks proved maybe he's the modern day legend.
It's kind of crazy. That's wild.
Remember when everyone was so mad about LIV?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they were mad about actual LIV. I think it was more like the people behind LIV and some of those things.
Yes.
I think that's probably the big argument.
Yeah, Phil. Phil's just been grinding.
You know something we totally missed? We're getting way off track here. I want to get back to Lou and aliens and all that stuff. But we totally missed that the golf tournament, this is on me as an Ohio guy. The golf tournament was 30 minutes on the road.
Yeah.
This would have been like a great car talk weekend. I mean, with the Memorial tournament right there. But
you're super right.
Anyways, Lou, anything else about aliens that you want to tell us? Like, what's kind of next here? Like, what are we looking for? Like,
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that was the biggest story that came out in like a decade and no one cared. And I don't really understand why. I think, I don't know if people have like alien fatigue or if people just don't believe it or if I'm crazy. I think I'm crazy is the real answer because it seemed like such a big story with like a lot of big.
I just think we got information overload.
Information overload? How? Like, what's more important than aliens?
Vision Pro. We got Vision. With Pro Vision.
Yeah, Vision.
AI. We got robots running around. They might be the aliens.
Yeah, I mean, we got this Apple Pro, aliens, AI. Like, it's like
Messi might go play soccer in Saudi.
Did they just sign it? Hold on.
Kareem Benzema.
I'm done with aliens. Let's go on to Tyler.
Are you done?
I'm done because I feel like
I was just trying to let you know why. You know why aliens aren't maybe taking the front seat.
If Lionel Messi signing with a Saudi Arabian soccer team is the reason we're not going to find out about aliens, I hate soccer.
That's fun. I can't believe that just happened, but that's wild. Is it my turn?
Yeah, Ty, it's your turn.
All right. Apple Vision Pro. All I would say is give it a shot. As a self-proclaimed Apple fanboy, I watched Steve Jobs announce the first iPhone. People didn't take it serious. People thought it was dopey. People thought it was a joke. People laughed at it. Same deal with the Apple Watch. Obviously, $3,500 is a lot of money. Computers used to take up entire rooms and be tens of thousands of dollars. Time goes on. Time goes forth. Time is time. We've discussed it.
Time is time.
2027. They named it the Vision Pro because fast follow with the Vision at like $19.99.
Say that again.
Like they'll do the light version, like the Vision Pro, and then they'll come out with the Vision, which will be
in like 5 years, and they need another announcement.
It's like probably 24 months.
Okay.
So that's one Vision Pro.
They need another announcement.
Like, pretty damn excited about it. Watch the whole thing. There's also some really cool things coming to iOS 17. UFOs. We know what's up with UFOs. The Stanley Cup. Yeah, UFOs, they exist. Aliens, they're here. The Stanley Cup doesn't get enough chatter on this podcast, but I've now tuned in twice. Game one, I watched the intro in the first 5 minutes, and then I fell asleep. Vegas, that arena was lit.
I watched the whole game last night, man. That's insane. They are so good right now.
They are. It's wild to watch them play hockey at the level that they are.
I mean, the Panthers were dominating teams. I mean, Kachuk was on fire. Like, they started up 1-0 early, and then you blink and it's 5-2 and it's over. And then they go to, game two. And I mean, it was like, 6-1? I think was when I was like last watching it. It was like 6-1. I'm like, man, this is
They were
ugly.
cooking them. And Jack Eichel took a hit last night that I wouldn't wish on my own enemy.
Crushed that guy.
He got put down.
And you could see at the end, Ty, he was kind of slipping a little bit, and he leaned into it.
He and dove into it.
Rocked.
Like a folding
rocked
chair.
That dude's world.
Ran to the locker room. It was all out brawl on the ice. And then came back, I think, and played a little bit.
Yeah. Was on the sixth goal.
Is he the best player in the series?
I don't know enough about it.
It's him or Kachuk, right?
I don't know about it.
I think Vegas's goalie is nasty, but I think it's a big moment. Look, you're up 2-0. The Suns were up 2-0 to win a chip. They blew that. So 2-0, doesn't mean everything, but Vegas winning a big time title in professional sports would be kind of a watershed moment for that city, for professional sports in general. I think
especially as the city is about to blow up and have all these teams there.
Correct. Yeah, like the A's.
I think it's pretty sweet.
It can't be worse than what they got now.
Next thing, Rose Zhang. I want everyone to take a moment. Rose Zhang is a professional female golfer, newly turned professional. As of this past weekend, competed in her first tournament as a professional. She is now the first women's golfer to win her first professional debut since 1951. Rose Zhang was a two-time Division I champion at Stanford, the only women's two-time champion ever. Home of Tiger Woods' collegiate golf career.
Which course, Ty?
You might have
Won
heard
the
of him.
U.S. Am.
Stanford.
One at Stanford.
Yep.
Was Adidas' first student athlete in NIL at the time.
Really?
Yep. And came out and won that tournament this weekend. She is 21. She's 20. She just turned 20 years old. She picked up the game at the age of 9. So I was 21 when she had never played golf. And I feel like I was 21 yesterday. And she may be one of the best women's golfers in the world at this moment. Someone to keep an eye on. There's some custom cards floating around on eBay. There was like this little future stars thing that I was checking out. I didn't pull the trigger, but there was some things like 25, 30. Feels like a potential Wembenyama SI for kids type thing. I imagine someone could be a Leaf play. Feels like a Leaf.
Feels like our friends over at Leaf have a little Rosang card coming to the mix here.
This is exactly what happens. Leaf releases a Rosang. None of us make a move. Jay makes a couple plays.
Jay buys 3 of them. They go for 350 a piece. She wins back-to-back tourneys. They go up to like 1,000. Jay's like, I kept one. I
kept one.
Got it graded. We're like, yeah, we should have done that. We're like, oh, none of us got any of them. Jay's got 4.
Yeah. Next thing, Victor Hovland won in Ryan's home state this weekend at Jack Nicklaus's tournament. He won $3.6 million. Finished up on Sunday.
Insane. And the next day, man, what a guy.
And the
what a
next
homie.
day, he pulls up for his boy to caddy for him in a U.S. Open qualifier.
Were they like college teammates, Ty?
$3.6 million. Yep. He won $3.6 million on Sunday and pulled up and walked 36 in shorts carrying his homie's bag. That's
a friend.
That's
true
how you
friend.
do it. That's friendship.
And there was some real clips out there. He was chumming it up with Jack after his win. Like, the charisma's coming through.
Yeah, I mean, try to make a shot at the real OSU being Oklahoma State. I mean,
he really did.
What a awful take.
He half played it because he was definitely joking about it before.
Yeah, but I think Jack said something like, "Oh, it's not that crazy." I'm like, Jack, brother, you're getting old. The guy, settle. Like, let's get Jack off the camera. My goodness, poor guy.
And then I got one final thing that's on my mind. I got home yesterday after being out from my apartment for a couple of days around birthday weekend. I walk in, I had a package that came in, and my guy hit me with a classic line. He goes, "Do you need the trolley? It's a really big package." I'm like, oh. He's like, "Nah, it's a gift from Ryan."
Yeah.
Lou, have you opened it?
Nope.
Watch
Just opened it right now.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Just open it
Do you
right
know
now.
what this is? I don't think you know what this is.
This live.
Watch this. This is so cool. I saw this in a value box in Dallas. The coolest thing in the world.
Pretty excited value box hunting. All right, we got it nice packaged. Nice package. We're gonna see it on camera before I see it. Let's see. We got some footy things on the side.
Those are just protect. That's just
yeah.
Go box.
Right in my mouth.
I see a Penn State. I see a Penn State helmet. It does appear to be a Penn State helmet.
Shawnee Cliff. Oh, sweet. The 25.
That's not the coolest one. That nobody likes that.
Shawnee Cliff, future.
Is there something else in there?
Starting quarterback of the Packers.
There's another card in the package.
Boom.
Oh,
Shawnee Cliff auto. Let's go. Hold on. Oh, that's a little.
That's the old school Bowman
throwback. Yeah. Sweet. Hold the damn phone.
I've done this my entire life. And I've never, ever, ever, ever seen this card.
This is sick.
Put it on the screen.
Sport King to 25. Wow. Tony Viola patch. Let's go.
That's a pull.
Tyler's old neighbor. I was on the phone with Jay going through a value box in Dallas because there was a Simone Manuel auto. Simone Manuel was like the Olympic swimmer. Like, she was supposed to be great. Jay had made there was a play on play of the week. Jay knew about her, and I was like, Jay, it was $5. I'm like, Jay, is this worth buying? And And he's like, oh, they used to sell for a lot. I don't think they sell anymore. And Jay and I were chatting. And I told Jay, I was like, oh, I found something Ty would like. And it was in there. It was in like the odd
That's
sports,
insane.
like random sports. And I saw it. I'm like, this is so for those that don't know, Tony Miola, Ty, I'll let you tell him a bit, but it has a personal connection to Ty.
Big time. It is a match-worn official Team USA soccer game. Tony Miola moved in next door to me, and I believe like 96, 97. This dude was the biggest animal I'd ever, as a young kid. His hands were like massive. Started for the U.S. men's national team in goalie. And at one point had a little picnic with the Jets as a kicker, and was the starting goalie of the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, by the way. The team was both New York and New Jersey at one point. This is early MLS days, if you didn't know that. And he was like an uncle to me. Introduced me to the game of soccer. We opened a retail shop, the fam and him and another party, selling jerseys out the back door. Mike Pecky, Tab Ramos, Alexi Lawless. I would do New Year's Eve over at his crib. And a lot of my sports interest and passion I owe to this dude. I haven't seen him in a while, spoke to him in a while, but he's doing this thing on air. Ryan, that is amazing. Thank you so much.
I found some really, really cool cards in my day, Ty, but there's things like that where I'm like, a guy that probably doesn't have a ton of stuff. It's got the USA kit. It's got a tie to Tyler. Personally, I'm like, it's what makes it fun. That's
amazing. Sport Kings is slept on, by the way. Big Sport King guy.
Very cool set.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Ryan. That meant a lot.
Yeah.
So Brooks Koepka got $150 million to just go play golf for 2 years somewhere else.
To play less golf.
Does he have to give that money back?
I have no clue. You know more than I do because you just read as I went on for 17 minutes, but there we go. Jay is trying to, he's coming in from the sidelines, wants to give me a shout to Anna Lee Waters. I was going to wait on that because there was a question about pickleball that I was going to bring up, but Anna Lee Waters is now officially 99-2 overall. It seems like 32-0 in her career competitively in women's doubles.
Oh my goodness.
Monster athlete.
I don't know what's happening to me, but I'm getting a lot of pickleball strategy videos on my Reels algorithm.
That's weird.
Yeah, never played pickleball, never picked up a pickle paddle or whatever it's called.
You might have to do something about that.
Yeah. Is it called a pickle paddle? It should be.
I don't know. Paddle. Racket.
Pickle paddle.
All right, what's on my mind? F1 continues to be Max and everybody else. Shout out to Mercedes 2-3 this weekend. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Reg and I were talking after the race about, who do you think is going to be second, third this year? She's like, hey, do you think Aston Martin will beat Mercedes? And I said, I actually think Ferrari, they haven't had the start that, history will not show the last 18 months has been favorable to Ferrari, but I actually think Ferrari is going to figure it out. I think it's going to end up going Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari. I think that's how it'll finish, but it's good to see Mercedes 2-3 there. Obviously love George and Lewis. So I've been keeping up with that a little bit. Love that. But I think the big thing is 50 days till the national. 50 days. I remember the last episode we recorded in Atlantic City. Again, literally seems like just yesterday. So much has happened in that time. But 50 days until the national. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I know we've talked about it a little bit on here before, but not sure I'll be in attendance for this one. Kind of, different things in life this go around. But the fact that it's 50 days away, hopefully I'll be able to get there. I know you guys are going to be there. You guys are going to be set up. Jay and Courtney, I'm assuming will be there as well. It's just it's crazy. The biggest card show in the world is 50 days away. Last couple shows I've been to though have been pretty good. So the card show scene, cards are fun right now.
Did you say 50 like as in a rough number or 50 like we're on the nose 50?
I mean, as of today, by the time this episode goes live, it'll be 49. It's actually 50.
Today's the 50 days till national. Wow.
50 days.
And that's the Wednesday you tune it into?
Well, I mean, as long as this is not like a 0 day since last mistake episode, it's actually 50. Because I asked Jay how many days until Wednesday, July 26th, and Jay said 50.
Perfect.
So
Okay, got it. So it's on Jay. It's not on you.
That's not what you said.
All right.
I'm preemptively defending Jay. You said when is the beginning of the national, and some would say Monday is the beginning of the national, but I'm gonna.
I promise you. Run this clip back when this episode ends, and I promise you, I said Wednesday the 26th.
Okay. I'm on Jay's side though.
He said Wednesday the 26th, and I googled how many days until Wednesday, July 26th.
Jay, I didn't say it was a tech, but Ty said, "Hey, are you sure?" And I said, as long as this is not a 0 days since the last incident, we're good.
There's no 0 days. You just like bringing up that graphic of how that's your favorite thing to do. It's fine. I get it.
I mean, we've just had that graphic isn't around for no reason.
That's also true.
It very rarely gets broken out, though. Can you even remember
these days? It
has been. It has been quite a while.
We just come from humble beginnings,
right? That's fair. Life is about improvement and learning from your mistakes, and being a better version of yourself. As
absolutely. Great, 100% progress over perfection, Jay. So yeah, a lot of my money cards, F1, the summer, man. We talked about it before Memorial Day, before that episode, and I didn't think about it then. But man, it's hot. It's nice. I'm loving the vibes of the summer. This is a real quick side tangent. Summer's a lot different when you're like in school and like you have a date to look forward to. When you're an adult, you just have everyday life. So you're not like, oh wow, like we get out of school this day. Summer's here officially.
Yeah, like I'm just sweaty in my commute now.
Yeah, you're just like, oh my God, it's 98 degrees outside and there's a humidity warning or there's like an air
quality warning in New York City right now.
We have one too. We have one. It's like, there's like a air quality warning.
If you go outside, it's hazy as all hell right now. There's like max bad air quality in our area of life right now from some Canadian wildfires.
So, anyways,
I have no idea.
Just kind of weird that when you get older, you're like, oh, summer's here. What do you know?
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what golf brings.
I played golf, played a couple times lately. I wish I was playing more, man. We got to get like Card Talk out here to play again. Like I missed that round. That was an electric round.
That was such a good time.
You guys just got to find a few days. Come on out.
I'm all for it.
Why don't you come here this time?
I want to get to Ohio.
I have a pregnant wife. Like
I was trying to do the even trade. I forgot.
Yeah.
True. All right.
Better golf here too. So.
I will say, we've done a lot of Card Talk episodes. A ton. Some would say more than 137. And
not some. And that's.
I'm not sure we've had a more interesting 24 minutes to start a show than we just had.
Yeah, I would agree.
I can't believe that LIV and PGA combined. I cannot believe that.
I mean, that happened live while we were recording. We got to talk about aliens. Like, Ty opened mail.
I did open mail.
The pickle paddle.
I got some Tony Miola.
All right.
I sat there and I thought about the alien stuff. And I was like, oh, what would it be like if like all of a sudden aliens touched down in like Australia?
Okay. I think about this all the time.
Right? Then I was like, yo, we literally sat at home and were told we're not allowed to leave our houses like 2 years ago for like 10 days. Like you weren't allowed to like leave.
10?
This can go in a dangerous direction, so let's be very careful.
So I was just like, maybe it's not going to be that crazy. Maybe it's just going to be like, yo, aliens are here. Keep it moving.
No, I think so. Part of the article was that the guy who was the whistleblower, it was the whistleblower or someone connected to the whistleblower who was saying like, that's the biggest problem with this. Like we're not preparing the world for something that is obviously going to happen.
You think at some point in your life they'll touch down?
I don't know if it'll be in my life, and touchdown is a relative term. Like, will we be aware of the fact that they touch down? Probably.
Sounds like they've already touched down.
100%.
Let's keep it moving.
They also described that. By the way, they also described it as a abandoned craft. So that means one of the aliens is like out here running around.
Transformers. Ever seen it? All right.
Yes, Courtney. Don't Look Up is a phenomenal movie. One of the saddest endings to a movie I've ever seen.
Ryan, get us on track here.
$250,000 for a Druw Jones 1-of-1. It was actually claimed. The card was hit it's actually in Ohio town. It's in an Ohio shop.
It was a grandpa, right?
Yeah, they were driving in the car. I saw the story. I saw Slab Stocks and DA had a lot about it. It's like Best of Ohio. I want to give them proper love. Best of Ohio Sports Cards hit it.
That was the shop that owned the box, correct?
Correct. Driving in the car is what it sounded like. And the quote from their page was, "Is Druw Jones any good? Grandpa holding the big hit when he got home from the Reds game, and they'll never forget." I'll have Jay put it on screen. But hit the card. DA had offered a bounty. We've talked about it before. It's $250,000 for the card, or you could hold it. If he gets in the Hall of Fame, they'll pay you $1 million for it. Took the $250,000. I think every single one of us here on this podcast and many, 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 many others would agree with that choice.
Maybe the most obvious choice of all time.
In cards, yeah.
I can't think of if he's a Hall of Famer, the card's worth more than $1 million, no?
I don't know. That's a lot of money. Mike Trout's didn't sell for $1 million, did it?
I don't know.
What did Trout sell for? Didn't Vegas Dave buy Trout? That's a long story. I think it. Gosh, now I want to look.
Sorry, I distracted you on that one. But also, did you read the story, like the quotes from the grandfather? Because he was saying when they opened, it was in a jumbo box. Let me get the quote here. It was out of a jumbo box, and there were 3 autographed cards in the last pack they opened. So all the autographs were in one pack. 3 autographs? Imagine opening a jumbo box, getting no autos until the last box, thinking you're getting skunked, and then you open up, and there's 3 autographs, and one of them's the #1 chase card. That's crazy. Yeah, stuck together with other cards. Makes you wonder, like, what else could be stuck with that? Well, that makes me think, because isn't it normally how it works? And I don't know anything, so I might be wrong about this, and I'm not trying to say anything bad, but isn't it true that when one of the superfractors is like that, all the superfractors are like that? So now, like, are all the superfractors going to come out of like 3 autograph packs? That I don't know. That would be pretty wild. $250K opening up a pack of cards on the way to a baseball game with your grandpa. Wow. Oh, that's like the dream scenario, I would say. That's a lot. Tyler, do you know who Druw Jones is?
I've been just waiting on the outside of this conversation.
Do you know who his dad is?
Andrew?
Yes.
Yeah, I know Andrew Jones. I know the Braves. I know like
one of the all-time guys from our childhood.
Real quick, I found it.
That I know. I know, I figured that, but I'm not going to sit here and be like
locked in.
I know that he spells it with a U.
He does, which is also cool.
Where's
the Mike Trout originally? Real quick, Ty. It said, did the Trout sell for $1 million? It didn't the first time. Vegas Dave purchased it in 2018, pre-COVID bump. I paid $400,000 for it. I remember this. Pre-COVID.
Which means it's way over $1 million in COVID.
3.8 million.
Yeah.
Is what he sold it for during COVID.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
3.8 million.
Ty, he plays for the Diamondbacks.
Is he in AA ball or?
I think he's in AA now.
I heard he was playing atrocious in.
Yeah, but it's in context. I'll check.
So that card cost $250,000, and the Vision Pro cost $3,500.
He's batting 175.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, right? Like, he's 19 years old in low A ball. He has 46 plate appearances in minor leagues. Like, he can't be playing horrible.
I'm not saying I could do it. I'm just saying that's probably not what you're looking for, right? I mean, 175.
46 plate appearances into your career. I don't think you can make a passive judgment either way.
Cool. I'm not paying $250,000
That's
for
a fair
dude that's got 46 plate appearances and bats 175, and we're paying $250K because this dude's supposed to be good and his dad's Andrew Jones.
That's a fair point.
Those are very different, arguments. I'm sure.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
What's up with Vladdy Jr.?
No idea. Lou would tell us.
The Blue Jays are just not. He's awesome. The Blue Jays. I mean,
is he
awesome?
Is he a?
I would describe
quality
him as
player. Incredible player, quality player. Just
Lou, is he better than Yordan Alvarez?
No. truly, Jordan Alvarez is like a top 5 player in baseball.
Really?
Vladdy's
Jay,
top
you watch a
25?
lot of baseball? I would say Jordan's the top 5 player in baseball.
Lou, who are the top 5 players in baseball right now? Ohtani, Judge, Trout.
No, Ohtani, Jordan, Judge, Acuna.
Pete Alonso. Get out
No.
of here.
Lou.
Pete Alonso's really good, but not,
I guess
not
I was trying to go with the Vladdy. Like,
yeah, Vlad is not
because
on the same
Vladdy had the same. My father was a guy.
level. Mhm.
I'm a prospect. People want to collect me. There was a lot of high dollar values on Vladdy. Has he
Lot.
like
Lou talked about that. We talked about that. We can continue this conversation because I had another one that we talked about in text. But Lou brought that up. Like Vladdy was when Vladdy was hitting those bombs, man, and they're like, hey, this guy's gonna be the real deal. His stuff was on fire.
He's hitting 288, which is really good. He has 9 homers, which is pretty good. He has 38 RBIs, which is pretty good. 821 OPS. He's a good player. He's like a tier 2 hitter, I would say.
Who is he in terms of quarterbacks?
Mond?
God.
No, he's like
This dude said Kellen Mond.
Oh man, that's funny. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. That's
He's
funny.
that
I like the
dude
way
in
we do that
Washington.
though.
He's like that dude in Washington.
Taylor Heineke? No, that's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
That's disrespectful. Like
That's
Dak
not fair
Prescott?
at all.
Make a lot of money, do nothing.
Lou, real quick before we
It's
move on.
hard. Yeah. keep
Before we
going.
move on, can you tell me that Ellie De La Cruz is going to be awesome?
Can I tell you that? Can I be honest with you? I don't even know who that is.
The number 1 prospect in baseball.
Yeah, I don't know anything about prospects anymore.
Man,
But if he's the
Yeah,
number 1
really.
prospect, that's good.
yeah, I've seen all the highlights on social right now about this kid tearing it up, and like everything's talking about the Reds calling him up, and I'm like, please be good.
I think people might be mad about this, but I would say Vladdy Jr. is like a Lamar Jackson.
Wow.
I mean,
Hold out.
That doesn't seem like that bad. That's like a top 10 player, right?
Yeah. But it's also, you have to scale it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Blue Jays are trash. Not good enough.
Interesting. Did you again we kind of hinted at it earlier, but Bowman Chrome University basketball dropped this past week. Caitlin Clark, first out of those, super hasn't surfaced yet. But we did see that Victor Wembanyama was once again a redemption card. Personally as a collector, that's a little disappointing. I got pretty high hopes once we saw Ruben drop the photo. It was like him, Mike Mahan, and Victor with the card. It says like the first one ever.
Wemby.
It's going to be interesting to see how soon one of those actually hits the market. I think this will be a really big test for Topps and Fanatics, is to see, again, Michael Rubin was, we've talked about that clip before. I talked about it last week, but Rubin was very open that they don't want redemptions. Like they're not going to do that. He's been very open about that. And now the first 2 big prospects or big products with Victor Wembanyama in it are both redemptions. I think I'd love to get your guys' opinion on this, but I think how quickly those come to market will really be a test for Topps.
I agree. I think that it is good to have a North Star of no redemptions, because I think for a long time that wasn't even a consideration. Redemptions was just a part of the business. So I would say even shooting for that as a vision is a good start. A Vision Pro is a good start. You like that, Ty?
I did.
In the meantime, I agree with you. I think if they can turn around the redemptions, in a month or so, that's great. But it definitely sucks that, the big thing was like the picture of him holding it saying my first ever signed card. And now it's going to go to like a random person who gets it in their redemption, which I guess will go to a random person who opens it in the pack. But, unfortunate, but I appreciate the effort.
Yeah. I think when they come to market will matter. Month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I think that's a reasonable time. I think you start pushing it out. I think that's a different story.
Do we know of anyone who already put in a submission to start the clock?
I saw one was pulled at IndyCard Exchange. I'm friends with those guys. I saw one was pulled there. And I've seen Slab Stocks post about a couple of them. But I have not seen anyone I know.
If you are listening to the show or watching the show right now and you submitted a Victor Wembanyama, please let us know the date of that so that we could track it, because I'm curious.
Yeah.
I've had a Bowman Chrome baseball at Redemption with Topps for like 6 months. That I don't think I'm going to see for another year and a half.
Interesting. Yeah, and Jay was talking about it in chat, but there was one where, is it a printing error? Is it a parallel? Like, what is it? It doesn't look like a printing error. It looks more like a it's basically like, is it faded? Is it not faded? But there's like a Victor Wembanyama base. And again, I'll show you the picture real quick. But this is what it looks like. And the question is one darker or like lighter? Is there a parallel within it? I haven't heard that. That would be kind of odd, like to see like a different print of the same card, like a darker or a light. Like, I don't know. It seems interesting, but it's definitely something being talked about.
Yeah, to me, this looks like a printing error, but there could be parallels. They always do parallel autographs, right? Where he could be like, shooting a jumper or passing, like making a pass or getting a rebound. And that could be the autograph picture or the parallel picture. But the one that they're showing there, that Aaron showed there, I think is definitely a printing error.
Yeah.
Because you could tell all around the card it's faded. It's not just in that one spot,
Yeah, sure. All right.
No, I was just looking up some box scores for this next topic.
What are you looking up? Which one we're going to next?
The NBA Finals. I think
that's where I was going.
I think it might be time to pour one out for our boy.
Yeah, MPJ. Yeah, he's like not even top 5 or 6 in Finals MVP voting.
Guys, the minute we put it in, it went up another like 4,000 points.
I mean, on 26 minutes, he was 2 for 8 from the field with 6 rebounds, no assists, shockingly, and 5 points.
It was a donation.
And Jokic put up 41 points.
Yeah. There's an image floating around of him taking like a mid-range fallback with like 3 dudes on him and all his teammates under the basketball wide open being like, pass it.
MPJ?
Yeah, it's bad. It's all over like Twitter, Lou. It's like 3 guys on it and like all.
It's like the quote's like, when you play 32 minutes and average under 4 assists.
Do you think that's a guy you'd want to give a max contract to?
Yeah, I do.
But
it's just a poor finals performance. It's his first time in the finals. He's a little nervous.
I know we talked about it before, but I expected this to be a lot quicker of a series.
So did I.
Maybe it will be. Maybe it'll be. Yeah, maybe it'll be. 3 straight here, but he looked pretty good, man. They got some gritty guys on that team. They play like a team. They just don't. Until they win, I don't think they're ever going to get enough love. But man, that team has got some they're just. I can't even quite put it into words like what I feel about the Miami Heat, because I watched that game and I'm like. They were down 11. I'm like, no way they're going to come back and win. Or like, no way the Nuggets are going to lose. Nuggets get hot, 3-3-3. It's like 3-point game, 2-point game. And then they hit a 3, and it's 5-point game. 2, okay? And they just always had an answer when Denver got close at the end there. And it's like, maybe this might actually be a series. I mean, it's 1-1 going back to Miami. It's not a series until someone wins a road game. We always talk about that. Like, Miami won in Denver. Now they have 2 games in Miami. Like
3 games at home.
Is it 3?
Isn't it 2-3-2?
I thought it was
2-2-1-1-1.
Yeah, 2-2-1-1-1.
You're like thinking like early 2000s NBA.
Oh.
I respect it.
Yeah, I think it's 2-2-1-1-1.
That shows you where my brain goes when I think basketball, by the way. I think like early 2000s basketball.
But I mean, it's not impossible that the Heat win 1 or 2 of these on at home and go back to Denver 3-1, 2-1, like 2-2. It's a series, and I think it's good for us because I think we're going to get a better series here, but man,
Denver has to get at least one of these ones in Miami, right? Or they're in trouble.
Yeah. 3-1's only been done 1 time in the NBA Finals.
Yeah. I think the cool part about Miami for me is they have one superstar who I don't necessarily know that I would qualify as a superstar, but on the same level as LeBron, Giannis, Luka, etc. And then they're just like an extremely well coached team. I like watching them play because I'm like, oh, they have a game plan here. Like their game plan for the Nuggets, I think, is just let Jokic shoot 25 times. Like let him shoot as much as he wants to lock down everybody else. and we'll see what happens. And it worked in game 2. So I love watching them play. I like Spoelstra. I like all their little role guys. They're a good team.
This would be correct me if I'm wrong. This would be a pretty big upset.
One of the bigger upsets in recent memory, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree.
They were plus 470 going into the series or something like that.
They were plus 400 last series, and they were like plus 250 to beat the Knicks, and they definitely were down bad against the Bucks.
Didn't they lose their first playoff game? They lost the playing game. Then they had to win from there.
Yeah, they won 2 in a row to get in. I wonder, Tyler, if we could find out who the most profitable finals champion is of all time, and I wonder if it would be them if they win this series. I wonder if there's a way to find that out.
I'm half tempted at this point to throw a little bet on the Heat.
Not yet. See, I would do it. I would do it if the Nuggets win game 3, because then it'll shoot back up again.
Guys, this LIV stuff.
I can't believe it, Ty. It's like remember when Ninja got however much money from Mixer or whatever, and then went back to Twitch?
It feels kind of like that. I completely agree.
Without the Saudi part.
The commissioner of the PGA Tour is lauding the Saudis right now for not coming to the table with their amazing investment in a singular global golf brand. And word is that none of the players in the PGA knew that this was happening, and they were all told not to take the money. And now the guys that take the money are just have the money.
$150 million richer.
Joel Damon just tweeted, I grew up being a fan of the Four Aces. Maybe one day I get to play for them on the PGA Tour.
All right, let's get into some questions. I know we have some. We're going to push play of the week to next week. We'll probably get a little over-under segment coming back here soon. But we do have some questions. I know Jay texted them to us. This is one I was reading these this morning. This is one I really wanted to ask you too, because I have a couple that come to mind. The Cardboard Collaborative says, if you could change the outcome of one past sporting event, which one would you choose?
If I could change the outcome of one's past sporting event. So they're both Penn State football. The most recent real one is if that receiver drops that ball. Who was it? When you guys came back against McSorley, long catch and run, squirrely.
KJ
ball
Hill
was up. He tried to.
No, that was Benjamin Victor when he caught it behind himself.
Correct.
Benjamin
play doesn't happen. We win that game. The ball was high. Yeah. Because the ball was high, he jumped up. They tried to take him out low, missed him, touchdown, boom. That team was. I think they would have won the semifinals of the playoff, lost in the finals. That team we had was really damn good. The real one that just seeps and burns in my mind the most is 2005 against Michigan. Lloyd Carr, somehow we're winning. Final drive. This is before reviews. This is before anything. It's classic Lloyd Carr, elder statesman. It's a Lloyd Carr-Joe Pa matchup. Somehow, he gets the ref to add 2 seconds left on the final drive. On the sideline, 2 seconds. I remember it clear as day. Throwing up the fingers, 2 seconds. Blah, blah, blah. They get one final play. They get one. Yeah, and they just added them. And then they get one final play with 1 second. Mario Manningham touchdown back of the end zone.
Yeah, tough.
I could do without that Mario Manningham fella.
That used to happen back in the day a lot, right? Coaches just complain and get their way.
Well, it was all who's clouded and who's not.
Yeah, literally.
Who's sending checks to the refs charity of choice.
Lou, do you have one?
I have 2. I have the 2010 AFC Championship game, probably the second most depressed I've ever been in my entire life, and I've been pretty down in the dumps of sports in my lifetime, and that was pretty bad. You can go back and watch the game. The Jets should have won that game. They had a horrific first half. They came roaring back in the second half, and the Jets needed to get a stop on the 3rd and 4, near midfield in the fourth quarter. Big Ben rolled out. I'll never forget it for as long as I live. And Big Ben rolled out. Bar Scott comes in to make the hit. Jay, stop me if I'm wrong at any point here. Comes in to make the hit, misses. The ball goes. He doesn't get there in time. Ball goes over his head. First down, game over. If we would have got the ball back, the Jets would have won that game, but in the Super Bowl against Aaron Rodgers. And they would have won. So that's the second worst. Yeah, it was Antonio Brown made the catch too. That's a crazy throwback. And then the worst one for me now is 2019 Game 7 of the World Series. Howie Kendrick hits one of the luckiest home runs I've ever seen in my entire life. The ball was in the ground 15 feet away from him, and he just like gets it over the fence, and they lose the World Series. That was the best Astros team of this run by far, and they didn't get a championship, and it's devastating to me.
Who they lose to? Is that the Dodgers?
They lost to the Nationals.
Oh, the Nationals.
They played a 7-game World Series, and no one won a home game the entire time.
Was that Juan Soto?
No, Howie Kendrick.
I'm saying, was that Soto on that team?
Soto was on the team. Yeah, that's when he was doing the shimmy every time. That was terrible. Crazy. That was a terrible World
There's
Series.
a couple that really, really stand out to me. I mean, I have a few. The most obvious one immediately is the David Tyree catch for sure. 19-0, Super Bowl champions. That's probably one of the most upset I've been, especially as like a child. Like the Patriots losing that Super Bowl, going 18-0 and losing to the Giants in the Super Bowl, like is one of the worst moments of like my sporting life for sure. In more recent memory, sure, Ohio State should have. I told it then. We don't talk about it enough. Ohio State, if you watched the Georgia game, was a better team. They should have beaten Georgia. That Marvin Harrison hit in the end zone was clearly targeting and was not called and would have changed the direction of that game. It was like 3rd and 9, right? It would have been 1st and goal on the 1, already up double digits. Ohio State would have closed out the game, would have won. That one for sure. We would have won a national title, finally with Ryan Day, finally with Stroud. It will affect CJ Stroud's career at Ohio State. Like someone's like, hey, are you going to super collect CJ Stroud? And I said, no, probably not. I'll buy some cool CJ Stroud stuff. I love Ohio State more than most things. But CJ Stroud has no wins against Michigan and no playoff wins. No Big Ten titles. What is CJ Stroud's accomplishment? I love CJ Stroud. Like, I love Ohio State. But I'm not like, it just affected everything for like his legacy at Ohio State. So that was super, super disappointing. And then 2015 against Michigan State. Zeke got the ball, I think, 13 times. Was the best running back in America. That was the best Ohio State team I can ever remember. They won the national championship the year before, first ever CFP. Zeke, Michael Thomas, Joey Bosa, Darren Lee, Von Bell, like Cardell Jones, JT Barrett, Braxton Miller. I mean, I could tell you all about that Ohio State team. Marshawn Lattimore, like that team was loaded. We lost at home to Michigan State without, it was either Connor Cook or Brian Lewerke. One of those two, I think it was Connor Cook. We lost without Connor Cook at home to Michigan State. We would have won the national title that year. Instead, Zeke gets the ball 13 times, says some shit after the game, gets suspended for like a half or a quarter. Like that team, man, we were so good. And it's like, we didn't lose the rest of the year and just crushed. So
sports suck, man.
They're the best.
Yeah. So those are the three that like I see, and I'm just like, man.
Next question.
Tough. You guys have one?
I should. 1 second.
I can give you a couple if not.
I got them right here.
Here's a relevant one. Can I go?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Buy, sell, hold, the collecting future of these three sports.
Yeah.
Tennis, golf, and lacrosse.
I'm holding golf. I'm holding golf because it has Tiger. So I'm holding golf for sure. The other two I could be convinced either way on. I don't know enough about lacrosse. That's more of a tie. That's more of an East Coast thing. So like I think my answer's not, I don't have enough education on lacrosse to like really give like a fair answer on this. So like in my world, just because of my lack of lacrosse knowledge, I'm selling lacrosse and I'm buying tennis.
Yeah. It's tough for me to say because I love all three sports. I can play all three sports, enjoy all three sports. I got to sell lacrosse because you perform with your helmets on. Tennis and golf are the ultimate kind of individualistic games, at least on the, there's not really, like there is team, but those are individual sports, individual accolades. I think I'm buying golf because now there's a singular global golf brand for the foreseeable future with endless amounts of money to promote and pay these guys. I'm holding tennis because the majors have definitely been popping off and it's becoming far more culturally relevant. The U.S. Open this year will be super lit. Roland Garros is going on right now. Some studs, very much young studs, new waves, turnover of generation. Roger, Rafa, those guys are out. Holger Rune, Tsitsipas, Carlitos, Alcaraz is on the rise. A lot of good things happening there. So I am buying golf, holding tennis, and selling lacrosse.
I'm with you guys as well. I just think it's pretty straightforward for me. I think tennis is a little bit sneaky, but I've been saying that for a year and a half, and it just doesn't happen. So, do you think that pickle is hurting the tennis audience?
No.
Do you think it's adding to the tennis audience?
Probably.
Blake Lapel, I think this is Jason's like friend or cousin or something. They had such like a close name.
This is Burner.
Oh yeah, it's Blake. Oh no, Clopel. It's like Jay's like second cousin or something. I don't know. It's definitely related to Jay for sure. I swear by that. He has a good question though. It says, "What player did you buy most that flopped the hardest?"
I have a couple.
Joao Felix and Jadon Sancho.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Those two guys. I went heavy Mbappe, and then I was like, oh, I'm too heavy Mbappe. Let me diversify with Sancho and Felix, and they're not even. I mean, we're talking like a pro star and a D3 player. The levels that those three guys are. Mbappe, and then those two. And those two are good players. Starting at Manchester United or Chelsea, there's just global fame and awareness that transcends, and then there's being really good at your sport in a professional manner.
Lou, what about you?
So shout out Cage Lawyer. During COVID, we were both buying in our group chat. We were talking about Miguel Andahar. So I bought a bunch of Miguel Andahar.
Is that the Yankees prospect?
He stinks. A bunch of Miguel Andahar, more than I feel comfortable admitting. It wasn't that expensive, so it was fine. But like, there was just stacks of Miguel Andahar showing up in my house that I don't think I could burn them in a fire. So that would be mine, or maybe Tyler Hero, but he's been okay.
He's a bomb.
He's had an interesting career, so I can't say he flopped yet. And I moved most of mine beforehand. It would have been Darnold. I got out of most of my Darnold in time, so I did pretty well on him. He ended up kind of flopping and then not flopping in my start for the Niners. So like that career is very different. Martavis Bryant was one that I was pretty deep on. Martavis Bryant was amazing, but just had some weed issues among other things.
Who's got weed issues?
Martavis Bryant.
Oh, yeah.
Martavis Bryant was a wide receiver from Clemson, got drafted by the Steelers, and was really good. This is back in early, so this is how crazy this has been around. He was back like early Panini Rewards days. I bought his Contenders autos on Panini Rewards back in the day and had a bunch of them, like the Contenders. They had variations, they had tickets, all that stuff. So, had a bunch of those back in the day. I had some really, really cool Nathan Peterman stuff back in the day when my man threw 5 interceptions and a half. That was rough. I had like 2 101 autos, and that dude was trash. David Cobb, running back from Minnesota, played for the Titans. I had a bunch of his stuff. He was trash.
David Cobb.
Yeah, again, for so long, like
was Justin Blackman a big cards person?
Yeah, 2012, same year as like Locke, RG3, Tannehill, those guys. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
he was a big one.
Yeah, great college receiver. I mean, but that was the same year Trent Richardson went number 3.
What a weird year! What a weird time in the NFL.
Yeah, Luck, RG3, Luck, RG3,
and then didn't they trade him for like a first round pick or something?
I don't know. I don't remember what the trade was, but where'd he go? The Raiders?
No, it was the Colts. I thought.
Yeah, I think that's.
Didn't he get drafted by the Browns and then got traded to the Colts?
We can look. Richardson. I guess I got to search Trench because
he plays in the Mexican Football League right now. That's wild.
I was going to search.
He was selected by the Browns and then got traded to the Colts after like 2 years.
Yeah, traded a first round pick to the Cleveland Browns.
Horrific trade.
Yeah.
But that was when they were trying to like load up for luck, right? That's what they were doing then.
They traded him 2 games of the 2013 campaign in exchange for a 2014 first round pick.
Yeah, in the moment, that was a crazy trade.
Yeah, that definitely did not affect the Colts, or that definitely did not help the Colts
or the Browns because they still suck after that.
Yeah, they might have used that. So, honestly though, the Browns had 2 first round picks in 2014. Can you tell me who they were? There's 2 of
Johnny
them.
Foots. Was Johnny Foots one?
Johnny Football, I think, was picked 22.
Joe Hayden?
Nope, that's a good guess.
No,
Joe Hayden was 2010.
Yeah.
Joe Hayden's 2010.
Was it a D end?
No.
It was Johnny Foots. Was it a receiver?
Nope.
Okay, I'm out. Although we used to play a game first, you get 3 guesses. First 2 don't count. Was it a?
I don't know the answer.
They took 2 bad corners. It was like 2 years in a row. I think 2014 is Justin Gilbert, but one of them was Justin Gilbert. One of them was Pierre Desir. There were 2.
He was a Jet.
Yeah, it was Justin Gilbert. Yeah, Pierre Desir was drafted by the Browns.
I'm
Justin
looking at the
Gilbert
2014 draft right now. They took Justin Gilbert. Right after him was Anthony Barr, Eric Ebon, Taylor Lewan, Odell Beckham Jr., and Aaron Donald. Those are the next 5 picks.
Yeah, Browns took him at 8 in 2014. Justin Gilbert.
That's like when the Jets took D. Milner. Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah. Blast from the past.
Little latest launch.
Yeah, we'll see what's coming out this week. We do have a solid release. Topps has got one coming out this week. Don't know how much you guys have been paying attention to it, but Series 2 baseball drops this week. From my understanding, I would love to get some input here from some of the baseball experts. I think it should be pretty good. I think they have Volpe and Jordan Walker in Series 2. I don't know if Walker got moved down because he got called down, but I would imagine they're both in it. But Series 2 baseball drops this week. Hobby and Jumbo. Upper Deck Extended Series Hockey drops this week. Leaf autographed basketball jerseys. Donruss UFC from Panini. Panini Select FIFA Soccer. A new Pokemon. Scarlet and Violet Paldea Evolved. Topps Finest Overtime Elite Basketball. A lot of product this week. So I think Series 2 will really be the highlight of this week's release.
Boys.
Yeah, Series 2, baseball right in the heart of baseball season. I think that'll be cool. Haven't had a UFC product in a while, so Donruss could be okay. Select FIFA Soccer a lot. We've had a run here in the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months of select soccer products. You had La Liga, you had EPL, Serie A, and now FIFA. So in the last 3 months, you've had 4 different select soccer products. A lot of them have done pretty solid. Select's always a fun one because you get select football next week. Later today, actually, you'll have this. By the time this is live, it'll already be out. But select first off the line is live today on Dutch Auction on Panini on Tuesday.
Wow.
So by the time this episode is live, it'll already be over. But yeah, select first off the line football. We haven't talked about this a lot, but if the rumor is true, we've talked about this before about Anthony Richardson being one of the only signers for Panini, Levis, Stroud, and Young going to Fanatics. Typically, the XRC is a big part of Select. XRC autos have been a big thing. Do you not have Bryce Young, Stroud, and Levis XRC autos in this year's Select because they're not able to sign? So I think that'll be really interesting to see how that plays out. Because XRCs are a big, in general, even non-autos are a big boost to that product, yet alone autos. So I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Real quick, Series 2 baseball has World Baseball Classic autographs. So it's like Ohtani with the Team Japan. So that's cool. And then there's Legends of the Game, which has Jeter that I saw. I'm trying to see if there's anything else, any other people. Jeter autos, which is a big deal, obviously, every single time. Father's Day patch. Yeah, but Series 2 looks like it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it should be fun.
Last but not least, the Champions League final is this Saturday. Man City against Inter Milan. Manchester City, major favorites. If they win, would be a historic moment for that club. Not only
Did they
season,
win in the FA Cup
for all that they've done in the past. Yes, they beat United 2-1.
Okay, I was watching it. I saw they scored the second goal in like the 60-something minute, and I stopped watching.
The first one they scored in the first minute.
Yeah, 14 seconds in. I texted you about that. I was watching it. It was on in shop.
Yeah. I was dialed. I had a 2-man member over the weekend, 3 9-hole matches Saturday, 2 on Sunday, pure focus the entire time.
Played 5 rounds of golf.
5 9-hole matches.
So like 2.5.
So 2.5, yeah.
That's still a lot.
It's a lot of golf.
Yeah. And like match play. So every shot is like, you got to stay dialed in.
Hell yeah. That's so fun.
He said, hell.
It was a blast. It
Hell
was,
yeah,
it was
dude.
legendary.
Dude,
All I want is competition in my life.
I fucking love competition. It's my favorite.
The best.
Oh,
Well,
it's been a
You know what-
pleasure.
this is
You know what topic we need to revisit next week?
Aliens?
what's that?
Derek Jeter
Michael Porter Jr.
and his
No.
importance to baseball.
No. I respect everyone equally. I'm trying to be positive. I'm not going to make any jokes about Aaron Judge breaking his toe because he hit into a fence. I'm not going to make fun of that. That's not what I'm going to do.
Listen, Lou said Aaron Judge is top 5 player in baseball. We can go to bed.
It's undeniable,
Amazing.
especially when you get Goldilocks balls. See you later, everybody.
Hope
See you
everyone has
guys
a great
next
one.
week.
AI, Aliens, Vision Pro, LIV Golf, and PGA.
Love
What
you,
a-
bye.